Hey everyone, welcome to our new series. I've decided with my good friend Jason from Flying Physios here that there is more to what we are doing training wise. A lot of people are taking on a lot of exercises they shouldn't be doing, or repetitive work that they are not aware of what the problems are. And Jason and I thought it was good to put some videos together to explain how to prevent injuries occurring, or at least stopping any problems. So Jason, how's it going?
It's good, Shaun. How are you doing?
A little bit sweaty. I just did the free online workout again. I think I'm getting in more shape having to join in with this online stuff rather than just barking orders.
I was going to say you've had a lot of uptake on it, which is really good news, my friend. Very, very good news.
Yeah, it's all positive, and so this is what this is kind of expanding on from. Is helping really. This is a time people need help. So any information stuff. You did a cracking video the other day on inflammation. For anybody that hasn't seen it, that got incredible amount of likes and views and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think I actually hit nearly 3,000 views on that one on something as simple as just sugar. And the simple fact is that too much sugar in your diet can cause inflammation.
Yeah.
And obviously, pain. So yeah, it was a very good start. Really good start.
Yeah, because what I'm finding a lot as well is what we see as basic information. People don't have that understanding. So some of that information for somebody can be actually life-changing and so simple, so simple. So what we've decided we want to talk about today really is foam rolling, the use of a foam roller, and how well it works in terms of loosening up the muscle. A lot of the body weight stuff that I'm doing and I'm seeing other trainers doing is a lot of impact. So it's a lot of high knees or squat jumps to make the exercise harder because there isn't weights there. But as Jason and I both know, that can come with some big issues. So, Jason, what's your thoughts on the home workouts?
If you're new to this, and there will be quite a few people that they've actually been, dare I say, fairly idle and now have time on their hands and feel they can actually add exercise into the daily regime. Less is more. You've got to take it easy. We see a lot of people who are well versed in exercise and exercise for a long time who are coming back from injury, and the same thing happens as someone that's starting off. There's a chance of re-injuring things, or there's a chance of injuring things, or of aggravating things. So if you are starting off for the first time, take it easy. You'll see programs that you can do that recommend you maybe do things 5-6 days a week. I wouldn't recommend that you do 5-6 days a week. Wouldn't you agree with me, Shaun, to begin with?
Yeah, definitely. That the starting slow is massive, and a lot of the problem is a lot of people are putting out videos where it's like, do this, and they're like, okay, and they just do it, even though they know they can't or they know they shouldn't because somebody said do it. That there isn't that bigger explanation, So what I do on the free workouts on Saturday is, all right, this is an easy variation with low impact, and this is another one.
And that's what I like about your stuff. That's what I like about your stuff is you'll give them variations. A good teacher, a good trainer will give you one or two options on what you can do depending on what your ability is at the time. Unfortunately, a lot of these pre-packaged programs don't.
Yeah.
And so people take it for granted that the advice they've been given and what they've been shown to do is they're able to do. And that's not the case at all. Honestly, I expect once this lockdown is finished to have quite a few people coming through my door who are hurting.
Yeah, and we saw that before it happened. People just doing weights wrong. So this is what we're trying to prevent. And I'm a massive fan of the foam roller. I think it's a brilliant piece of equipment. And actually, I went onto Amazon last night to look for a client. The next delivery date was May the 18th. So whether they are stopping sending them or they are sold out, they are obviously quite popular. But if you just give us some nice basic ideas for why people should foam roll and how they should be doing it.
Okay, right. So what I've got here is I've put some notes on the board. So I might be disappearing from the screen, everyone, slightly, and instead you'll see my pointer doing the work. I've just got some key points on the board here that I want to go over. So you know what? We're really talking about lockdown rehab here. I'm all about, whilst this is going on, using what tools you have around your house to help you. Foam rollers, not everyone's got one, but if you can lay your hands on one, fantastic. I mean, what's the prices on the foam rollers, Shaun, roughly? 6-7 quid, a bit more?
Yeah, I would probably say you get a good one for about between £10 to £20. Some of the lower end ones I find just aren't good enough. They just lose their strength very quickly.
Okay, fair. That's a fair point. What I would say on them as well, I mean, you've got ones that look like they've got tyre tracks on them, correct?
Yeah.
Some of them look very medieval. So you know what? You don't need to get an all singing, all dancing one, especially if it's an introduction to it. Hate to say it, once this is all over, how many people are going to stick a foam roller back in their cupboards and forget about it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but I mean, 10 to 20 quid for what we're going to talk about today is a small price to pay for the fact that you can have improved range, less pain, and if you really are into training, just ideally help to aid recovery. So getting back to the board, foam rolling. Okay, so one thing they say it does is reduce stiffness and tension. Yes, it has the potential to reduce tension or tone in the muscles, and as a result of that, to reduce the kind of stiffness that you feel there. It's a great pre or post training aid in that respect. Has the potential to reduce the potential for what we call DOMs, which you obviously know an awful lot about, don't you, Shaun, when it comes to DOMs?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting a lot with the 30-day plan at the minute. Is a lot of them go, oh, my legs are killing, you know, and so this is why I'm going to introduce this, and also I'm going to do a mobility and foam rolling video to help people continue to train. So yeah.
Okay, next one is improved range of movement. If you have got less discomfort, less tension, less tone in the areas you've been working on, there's always a potential to improve range of movement. They kind of work in parallel with each other. These are two that have been clinically proven to occur, let's say, with foam rolling. Some of the other things it says it does haven't necessarily been clinically proven. It's very much more word of mouth or how the person responds to it themselves. And if they feel it works, then they're going to keep using it. But reducing stiffness and tension will lead to improved range of movement as a result of things. Range of movement is really important. Everything we do is about maintaining and improving functional movement. Okay? People that don't want to move, they're going to find themselves in more discomfort for the fact that they didn't want to move. Movement is really, really important. So foam rolling for the time being is a fantastic thing to do. Why I can't get my hands on you, or someone else can't get their hands on you, to aid you with reducing the tone that you've got in there, improving mobility, and also aid recovery. Foam roller is a really good way of aiding the recovery. Pre-workout, post-workout. But Shaun, I mean, there's obviously other things you can do as well. I mean, I'm a big advocate of water, you know, as another thing that you've got to hand. But, you know, other quick aids for recovery?
You know, I push nutrition a lot. That's a big factor, because obviously with the hockey career, you get the nutrition wrong, it doesn't matter if you're foam rolling anyway. But no, I just find the foam roll, I just see a lot of people, especially in the sport world, and it's so easy just to jump on it. You're in the changing room, you just have a little roll, you just loosen up. And I find also post-workout, I don't know what you think on your physio side, but I find it doesn't take very long. Just a quick, you know, up and down on the back, quick up and down on the quads, and it will very quickly make you feel better, just in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, I'm with you, and this is what, you know, we're come to about how long or how often you should do it. But you know what? Dare I say, you can foam roll anywhere, essentially, and that's the beauty about it. You know. So we talked about reducing tension or tone, as I class it, and stiffness, which will lead to improved range of motion. And yeah, a fantastic recovery aid. It's certainly one thing that you can do, but you need to do it daily. Are my thoughts on things. So even if you haven't trained that day, doesn't mean you don't foam roll. I think it's good to get into a habit of doing it. And with that, be specific. I mean, how many muscle groups do we have in the body, Shaun? We have so many of them, but you've kind of got to be specific to it. And my thoughts are this. If I'm going to work on foam rolling my middle back, I've got to make sure that I do something that's going to work on the opposite side of that, on my chest. I'm not an advocate of foam rolling your chest. There's too many nerves and too much going through there for you to do that. And it's bloody impossible. If I'm quite honest with you, it's really, really hard to do for someone that has tried it. So instead, that's where normal or standard stretching comes in, you know. But if you're going to foam roll one area, make sure that you also work on the other muscles that sit within the area. For example, middle of back, shoulder, front of chest. They are kind of all sit within a kind of large group. They work with each other. They're called agonists-antagonists. So they have a relationship with each other. They work with each other and against each other. And that's what allows, you know, for fluid movement and lots of range. So
Yeah, I find that quite interesting actually, because I do find what a lot of people do on the foam roller, it's just like 1 2 1 2 1 2, and
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
say to him, "Have you foam rolled?" Yes. Have you foam rolled properly? Yes. And then I say, "Well, then show me," because I know that the hardest part I find with the roller for a lot of people is the pain. There are a lot of people that need the
Yeah,
foam roller. It's a very painful thing,
yeah.
and they don't want to be on it. So guiding them in, like what you said, you mentioned about daily specific. I tell people to micro manage. So I would
Oh,
rather
yeah,
do 2 to 5 minutes every day
yeah.
before it becomes a bigger problem that you have to do it for hours and spend money and things like that.
And is that not just the same with everything for the sake of it, right? You know,
Yeah.
if you get little bits to begin with, you're going to be far more successful. And in the case of this, you're going to be not going to feel. It's not going to feel so dreadful after a couple of days. It's quite a unique experience if you haven't foam rolled before. Expect it to feel a little bit sore. That's not a bad thing. If it does feel sore, then it means you need to be working on that area anyway. That
Yeah.
for me is not a bad thing. There is a limit to the soreness that you feel, and this is what we'll talk about as well. Okay, so we've talked about it being daily. We've talked about it being specific. I've got 2 rules when it comes to this: no necks and no lower backs. Firstly, no necks. There are too many vessels in that area that you can compress. It's not a good thing to do. I'll be honest with you, when you lay your hands on a foam roller, you would probably find it really difficult to foam roll your neck anyway. Okay, some people will foam roll around the back of their neck slightly. You've got a lot of vertebral arteries around there. That's something I'm not keen on. If there are any underlying pathologies in there as well, you will soon know about it, and none of those underlying pathologies are particularly pleasant. You certainly wouldn't foam roll around the sides of your neck here, and certainly not around the front. If you want to do anything with your neck, stretch, okay? And not only that, if you really do feel like your neck is stiff, 2 things to look at within neck stiffness. One is your middle back, what we call your thoracics, which Shaun, you'll talk to clients about all the time. Your thoracics is the middle of your back there. Often if there's no mobility in that, that can lead to neck pain and shoulder pain, okay, and a little bit of lower back pain. But guess what? You can foam roll your mid-back. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Secondly, I said no lower backs. If you have a lower back problem, if you suffer from lower back spasm, if you are aware that you have any disc issues, any underlying pathologies, I wouldn't recommend foam rolling your lower back. Simple fact is it could lead to spasm, okay? Lower back spasm is not a fun thing. So again, the same as it is with training, slowly. If you have lower back issues, it's always good to revert back to the thoracics, which is the middle back. So that's anything along where your shoulder blades are. Work on that, because again, if you loosen that up, that has a great benefit to loosening your lower back as well. So everything leads back. Go on.
This is all interesting stuff, because I have foam rolled the neck, I have foam rolled the lower back. I'm very lucky that I've never really, touch wood, had any major issues. But yeah, it's interesting to hear from that side, because I personally do prefer foam rolling to stretching. I feel I get more out of it. But that's interesting to hear that obviously things like bulging disc and things like that to me would be an obvious don't go on that area. But yeah, it's quite interesting to have that theory in that, the reasons why you should leave certain areas alone.
I mean, there will always be contradictions to what people say with things. Back in my career as a tennis coach many years ago, I worked with a guy who was a little bit overweight. He had a lower back issue, and we would be on court for 12 hours a day. I mean, literally back-to-back coaching on hard courts, which are very unforgiving anyway. But first thing in the morning, he would be in absolute bits until he foam rolled his lower back and his mid-back, or his thoracics. So lower back we call lumbar, middle back we call thoracic. So his lumbar and thoracics, he would foam roll those for 15 or 20 minutes, and he would get up and he would be moving, and he would be on court for the remainder of the day. The thing with him was, it was circulation. When you wake up in the morning and things feel stiff and they feel sore, it's generally down to inflammation. And that's inflammation that's been laid down while you've been sedentary or sleeping for the night. So when you get up in the morning and everything feels a little bit stiff, a little bit sore, it's often because of that. Inflammation equals pain. The foam roller was a good way of him kind of ironing stuff out. It was pushing stuff out, but it was also getting blood flow in there. So it was a two-way process. It was a reducing inflammation, but it was also improving pliability in the muscles. He is the exception to the rule.
Mm.
You know, and there will be some exceptions to the rule. I'm not saying don't foam roll your lower back, but if you have underlying pathologies, really, really, really take it carefully. And to be honest with you, the muscles that run from your lower back all the way up to your thoracics, so everything that spans from lower up to thoracics, the lumbar to thoracics, is pretty much the same muscles. They're just called different names. You know, your lower erectors and your erector spinae. So if you work on the thoracics, you're still going to have some effect on the muscles lower down in your lower back.
Yeah, I'm a big pusher to clients of foam rolling first thing. It gives them a purpose to get out of bed, and it's a great reason to start the day. I've just given one of my coaching call clients that little routine to do in the morning, and she says she feels fantastic, and that's what you want to hear. It's that. We'll go into maybe a bit more detail just to finish, but my big thing of foam rolling is quality of life. A lot of people don't see it as a priority, but it massively improves the quality of your life. And that's what we want, right? We want to get up every day and look good and feel good and play good. Yeah. That's the gist of it, really.
But guess what? They're in safe hands with you, the same as they're in safe hands with me. You would soon tell them if you thought they shouldn't be foam rolling, the same as I would. And there are plenty of people I've said to you right now, foam rolling is not the way forwards. Because they've come to me and said, oh, my mate foam rolls, and it works wonderfully for them. Everyone is different. Try foam rolling. Just take it easy, okay? Is what we're saying is just take it easy, be sensible about things. You slowly build it up, you'll become very savvy at foam rolling, and you will see some massive benefits from it, without a doubt. Which leads me on to my next thing. Warm up and cool down. We've talked about that already. I don't know what degree you use it for warm-ups, Shaun. Do you use it a lot for warm-ups with people or not?
No, not really. Everything I generally do is cardio-based warm-up into a dynamic stretching. So foam rolling for me is a post-workouts / whenever you can kind of get it in at home type thing.
Yeah. That's just my dog barking, by the way.
Just joining in.
Yeah, exactly. He's always got something to say. Right, and also just cool downs as well. It's a nice thing for cool down. What I would say is, again, take it easy because muscles are full of blood. They can be a little bit more sensitive. Again, see blood flow as a kind of form of inflammation in there, you know. There's only a certain amount of space in those compartments, and those compartments also will be innervated by nerves. So pressing on those nerves can have some aggravation on things. Just take it easy. It's really important. Which leads me on to the next thing. Less is more. We've talked about less is more anyway. You know, to begin with, slowly, baby steps of things, and then you'll work on. Excuse me. So you'll build up with things as you go. These are the perks of sitting in the lovely garden on a day like this.
Yeah, I had my dog sniffing at the door just a minute ago. Definitely, my dog's struggling with Zoom. Anytime we're on Zoom, she doesn't like it.
Yeah, I would introduce you to Benson, but maybe another time. We'll save that for another video. Less is more. Sore spots. Don't work directly on sore spots. They're sore for a reason. As you say to people, Shaun, I'm sure, training equals micro trauma. You don't know how much trauma you might be putting through something. If you feel you've pulled something, definitely don't foam roll it, but foam roll around it. Foam roll above, foam roll below. It's a great way of aiding the recovery, but don't roll on it.
So I have a question there for you. So this is not in regards to injury. Obviously, injury I understand, left alone. But when somebody has a tender area, what I like to do and what I try to do is I get them. We'll take the quad for instance, and I'll get them to work top to bottom of the quad. So they'll be on the tender area for a brief second, then they come off it. They'll be on the tender area, and I find that is an introduction into loosening up that tender area. So then you can start, I guess, attacking it more because it's loosened up. So you've gone up and down, so you're not actually on that pressure point.
Yeah. This is the thing. I mean, listen, your body has some amazing mechanisms involved, and one of them is that when you feel pain, your body will send stuff there, just a biological response to it, and that will include blood. Blood will, as we said, will aid with kind of like recovery. You know, by doing that, what I'm saying is work above and below, and you'll get your lymphatics going, and the lymphatics will then help to aid the process of reducing the inflammation that's in there that is causing the soreness. You know, the soreness that you feel is because of inflammation. What that inflammation consists of could be lymphatic fluid, it could be blood, it could be the formation of scar tissue following an injury. What we're saying is, by all means, work over it, but literally work a lot above it, work a lot below it, and just slowly glance over it, okay? My other thing is this. You know, you have vessels in your body that have valves that only go in one direction. I see all this stuff where people are foam rolling up and down, up and down, up and down. It makes me wince a little bit, really. I quite like the idea that, you know, with your leg, and I'm just going to show you my leg, everyone, okay?
Special treat for everybody.
Here we go. I hope I've got my best tracky trousers on. You know, foam roll up towards the heart. That's really important that you foam roll upwards for me. Lots of people go up and down, up and down. It's a slightly more time-consuming process, admittedly, but I like the habit of getting into that if you can, especially when we're talking peripherals, especially when we're talking legs, because you have vessels or valves that run in these vessels that are used to having the blood go in one direction. Now, obviously, you've got your arteries and you've got your veins going in different directions. I know that's not necessarily realistic, which is why, again, the pressure you apply when you're foam rolling, keep it to a minimum. I'd much rather you did 10 or 20 rolls of an area and did it nice and slowly than trying to smash it out really quickly. Because for me, I worry about vessel damage to a degree. These vessels are pretty robust, don't get me wrong, but you know what? Get into good habits to begin with. So slowly does it is really, really important. And I've put it down there, slowly does it. Sore spots, easy on the sore spots. You might go over them slightly, but don't spend loads of time on them. And less is more. Really, really important.
Brilliant. Yeah, well, I'm sure this is going to help a load of people because I've picked up some stuff from this. You know, I'm not a physio. I always tell my clients that I'm not a physio. I have a very good understanding and I get my knowledge from people like yourself. I work with a physio over Bracknell Way as well, Alicia, who's brilliant on that side. So it's really interesting to hear some of those theories. So to summarize, it's the same as anything. You know, slow and steady wins the race. Micromanage, so it's better to do little and often than wait till there is a problem. And you know, realistically, for people to either, you know, foam rolling we spoke about today, but if not foam rolling, if you can't get one, stretching is also important. And I am pointing people in the direction of yourself, and YouTube as well. YouTube has thousands of videos that you can follow, and again, if we can't seek that direct help all the time. So, you know, these are platforms that we can use. But anything else to finish up that you feel that we've missed there on the summary?
Not really. I just can't reiterate enough. Just take it easy. I mean, you're going to be dealing with something that doesn't have a lot of, how can I put it? It's quite a dense thing, isn't it? A foam roller at the end of the day. And you're also using your body weight for stuff. So baby steps to begin with. Less is more, but do it daily. It's a really nice recovery tool. Why you can't get to your regular massage, or if you are having problems with stretching certain areas, or if you want something to accompany your stretching, foam rolling is a really nice thing to do. But again, at the top of the thing for me is less is more. Yeah, really, really important. Get some inspiration from YouTube. Look at foam rolling for beginners, obviously, if it's the first time you've done it. Don't go to advanced foam rolling videos that do exist, because you will probably do yourself more harm than you will good initially. But while you can't get some hands-on treatment at the moment, foam rolling is a really good thing to do. It will never supplement physio, osteo, chiro, massage, whatever it may be. But while you're working with people like yourself, Shaun, it's a really good way of staying on top of things so you can perform to the best of your ability when Shaun puts you through your paces.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you very much, Jason.
No,
just to let everybody know, we are at some point next week going to do an Instagram live, probably in the evening, maybe at the weekend. We will let everybody know the time, and it's going to be a Q&A, so you can ask training questions, you can ask physio style questions. My tag is Taurus_PT. If you want to follow me for the check-in on the live. Jason, what's your tag on Instagram?
At Flying Physio.
At Flying Physio. Easy as that. Guys, give us a follow. We will be putting out videos. This one was a little bit long one. This is the first one today. So we will do some short, snappy ones like Jason's already doing, that I'm already doing. Just merge them together. So please follow us. Keep an eye out for the Q&A, because it might be one simple question that we have spoken about today that improves the quality of your life. And that is what we are both trying to do, is make you a better person, make it a better variation of yourself. So Jason, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, everyone. Shaun, your family, everyone's family. Stay safe and well. Until next time, my friend.
Take care, everyone. Have a good day.
See you later.